Hi everyone, it's me Leslie here with another video. Thank you so much for watching my video and thank you so much for subscribing. Today I'll be continuing my story from the previous weeks. Last week, part 2, I ended the story talking about how there was going to be a new woman starting my place of work. And so finally it was the day for the new woman to start. And she walks into the teacher's office. And I saw her, and she just had this presence about her. She had this aura. I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh, I've got to get to know this person. And so, long story short, we became fast friends. And we decided to go out and have pizza one day at a local pizza shop. And I remember we were having this pretty intense conversation about what alcohol had, how alcohol had been a part of our lives, what kind of trouble we had gotten into with alcohol in our lives. And she was ultimately saying that she never really had any positive things come from her drinking, and she was ultimately planning on stopping. And I was saying, hey, you know, I've never really thought about stopping. I have significantly slowed down, and I just kind of drink at parties and stuff like that. So I wasn't really thinking about quitting, so to speak. And I remember her confronting me. All of a sudden, she decided to confront me and said, Leslie, have you ever thought about your drinking, and do you think that, you know, you could be an alcoholic? Because I think that you're an alcoholic. And that comment really took me aback, and the directness really shocked me as well. And I had never really heard anybody be so direct before and confrontational about the subject. And I was just like, no, well, I definitely don't feel like I'm an alcoholic, and I've never even considered that at all. So I got to thinking after that. It really planted a seed in my mind about drinking and what drinking meant. And ultimately, I was just like, you know what? I'm not an alcoholic. I drink at parties just like a lot of other people do. Sometimes I have a beer with my meal. What's the big deal? But then I started thinking, okay, well, maybe I'm not an alcoholic, but maybe I've let alcohol really steer me down some wrong paths in my life. And I just started having flashbacks to all of these things that I had done when I was intoxicated. And even thinking back on them now embarrasses me or makes me feel ashamed and uncomfortable. And so I decided that, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not an alcoholic, and I'm going to prove it and take a month off of drinking, and we'll see what happens. And so I took my last drink of beer like a month later, and I said, you know what? For 1 month, I'm not going to have a drink, and I'll show you what kind of non-alcoholic I am. And so I kind of took it as a challenge just to prove that I don't need to drink. I just like to have drinks sometimes. And what ultimately happened was, not only did I not have a problem with not drinking, I realized that I enjoyed my state of mind not drinking more. And I started, the complexion of my skin started to change. And when I went to parties, I felt like I was more in control. And something happened. I stopped drinking for that month, and I felt better. And then I felt more in control. I felt like I had gotten rid of something that was like a blockade, like a barrier, like a weight on my shoulders. And so the month was up, and then I was just like, well, I kind of like this. Let me do another month. And then another month led to another month, and as I'm speaking to you now, I haven't picked up a drink since, and really don't want to. Just for the peace of mind of not just being in control of my emotions, and being able to be 100% accountable for my actions. Being 100% sober 100% of the time. It's just so freeing. It feels so good. And so actually I've never picked up a drink again. And so my friend challenging me at that time in my life really has changed my life. And I don't fear confrontational questions anymore. And actually, maybe I even condone them, because they kind of touch a nerve and make it so that an introspective person would hear the confrontational question and maybe even take a step back and really reflect on that question and perhaps consider taking different actions for the better. So I truly attribute some of me kind of ridding my life of alcohol to this amazing friend of mine who decided to confront me at that point in my life. And she didn't just confront me about that. We both ended up quitting drinking together. And then I asked her about her healthy practices. I mean, what kind of things did she like to do? And she was telling me how she did 10 minutes of sun salutations in the morning, so 10 minutes of yoga in the morning, and she also did meditation. And I didn't know how to meditate, and I told her this. And so she said, hey, I'll teach you how to meditate. And that's where I'll stop the story today. And next week, I'll continue with how her teaching me meditation actually started me on the journey of true introspection and truly reforming my entire being and my entire life. So thank you so much for watching this video and giving me your kind attention. And until next time, bye.